I, the pure consciousness, would manifest the words of truth and wisdom through this mind and through this body. I, the pure consciousness, would manifest the words of truth and wisdom through his mind and through his body. Blessings be on the listener, the one who has cluttered herself or himself from the unnecessary drama and lies, and now receptive to the truth, and now ready to heal. Watch this. Shh. See, something very important happening in this moment. It's not important what has happened before this moment. It's not significant right now. But if you silence, if you're silent, you would realize we don't want to think through an intellectual mind or through our intellect. We want to realize something very important happening in this moment in time, which is what you essentially are going in the body and what we essentially are going out of the body through this here. What we essentially are going in the body and what we essentially are going out of the body. It's never stopping. It's a constant process. The most important activity which is happening right now, not what has happened before. It's not important right now. No matter what it was, it's not important. You see, you do not know much about my past. And it's not important for me to just live or talk about it all the time. It's not necessary. However, you have no clue about it. And vice versa. But one thing is for sure, if we do not let it go, there is no time in the future, because there is no future, to heal from it. And that's the entire purpose of this video. If we just keep clinging on it and just keep thinking it's not easy, it's not easy, it's not easy, I'm not ready. You see, you can use some more words. That's what humans do. Humans use words. You can use some more words. But when it would be easy, if I even accept your argument, it's not easy. When it would be easy, tell me. You would say I'm not ready. When would you be ready? When? That's the question, isn't it? Even if I accept that we are not ready to heal from what has happened in the past, I'm not talking about whatever has happened. I'm just saying whatever has happened in the past. Even if we accept that, when it is good enough time for us to heal, you tell me. I mentioned Swami Yogananda before. You understand what I'm saying? It is a movie. You can rent it from YouTube, and you would understand the magnitude of his being and the magnitude of his personality and the purpose he served on the planet. I think the movie is called The Autobiography of a Yogi or something along those lines. You'll find it. Swami Yogananda. Brilliant people. Swami Yogananda, Swami Vivekananda. Now watch what I'm saying. Follow me. Swami Yoga Ananda. There's a reason. You see, I want your focus intact. I always say that because I just connect the dots. Everything what I say is related to the subject or the topic or the message I'm conveying here. Swami Yogananda said, if you want to bring a change, you need to put efforts. You understand what I'm saying? Swami Yogananda said, if you want to make a change or if you want to bring the change, you need to put efforts. This world is the place and this is the time where you do it. Focus on it. You see, focus on it. For one, this statement is extremely comprehensive and the wisdom and full of wisdom. And two, this statement is for anything and anyone. He said, if you want to bring or make the change, you need to put efforts. This world is the place and this is the time where you do it. It means if you want to heal from something, this world is the place and this is the time right now, at present, when you do it. There's no good enough time. I'm not ready. You can use some more words. That would become another excuse of our suffering. That we would, like we humans have learned to use words after words after words, but nothing practical. So I'm giving you something practical. That this is the time where you do it. This is the time to heal. This present moment is the time when you heal. You see? There is no good enough time to heal. However, I would tell you something very important. Please remember, always remember. It's very important for all of us, including myself included. It's very, very significant. It's dire, all these words. I'm trying to stress on the point, basically, by using these English vocabulary, that it's very dire and significant for us to heal before we take off. Take off means before we shed our body. It's extremely important. It's a matter of dire importance that we heal before we take off. Now the thing is, with that, we do not know when we are going to take off. Nature has made it hidden from us, and it's for our own good sake. You see? So it's important. So that's why I am stressing the time is now, because we do not know when we take off. So the time is now to heal, and it's very important to heal before we take off. All of us, myself included. It's important. Now, all this conversation, usually I mention in the beginning, but now I'm mentioning right now. All this conversation is coming up because yesterday, while I was at work, I received, again working too, I received an email. I was at my break, I checked my email, and I received a brief message that how to heal from the memories from the past. Can you help us? So I'm helping here right now, giving you awareness, telling you the time to heal is right now. Start healing. And how do you do that? Okay, let's go into it. I have mentioned a book by my mentor Don Miguel Ruiz, 4 Agreements. It's a beautiful book. It's literally is full of wisdom. However, I keep mentioning the book. The book itself is enough to liberate you, from my mentor Don Miguel Ruiz. And he says that the excuse of your misery is you made a terrible mistake. He says in that book, his words, the excuse of your misery is that you made a terrible mistake 10 years back. Are you fully understanding and following me? In the book he says the excuse of your misery is right now that you made a terrible mistake 10 years back. But as a matter of fact, you didn't make the mistake 10 years back, you made the mistake 10 seconds back or 10 seconds ago. When you remember, you see the word remember? When you remember the mistake and you relive that and you punish yourself over and over and over in the process only by remembering it. And then he mentions that humans are addicted to misery, and misery likes company. So he says that we humans help each other being more miserable. It's a fact. It's not he's talking something fictional. He sees it. His awareness is extremely clear. It's a fact. You see, another mentor of mine, a mystic, a beautiful, powerful being, Sadhguru, Jaggi Vasudev. Namaskar. See, he was in a retreat up north in Washington State, in Seattle, and there was a lady. And that lady asked him, how do I heal from the loss of my husband? You see, Sadhguru was sitting over there and he was taking questions from the audience. So this lady, the poor lady, my heart goes out for her because unfortunately she is still suffering. So she asked, she was teary and she asked, how do I heal from the loss of my husband? And I cannot challenge her feelings. I cannot judge her feelings. Otherwise, all this is for nothing. That's not the point. The point is to give people option. What they do with that information is their business. That's the point. The point is not judge them. If you try to, as soon as you try to start judging people based on what they are going through, the game is over. There is no need for this then. So that's not the point, to judge them. The point is to give them the option of liberty so they can heal. And that's what I'm doing in these circumstances. I wouldn't do it, somebody else would. Nature is very powerful. It would always bring somebody. Right now, it's bringing me. So that lady the poor lady who was suffering the loss of her husband, who passed on 7 years back, we are now in her shoes. We don't know how she perceives reality, so we cannot judge her. However, the answer is important. The answer gives her the option to heal from it. And Sadhguru said that, madam, I mean, he said ma'am, because he was in America, in Seattle. However, I'm saying madam because I'm half from Europe. So he said that, madam, 7 years is a long time period. You see, it's a long time period. Without even judging her, he went straight to the problem. Judging is not important. It's just unnecessary. Without judging her, he went straight to the matter and he said, madam, 7 years is a long period of time. So I will tell you this. And that was his answer to this poor lady, to this lady, the healing. I hope you find some peace. Anyway, Sadhguru said to this poor lady, the 7 years is a long time period. And he said, what happens, everyone is going to go through with this process. However, the peace is, or the fact is, or the beauty of is that there is just life. So of course, the person you comprehended or you understood as your husband is not around, but it's not you. The way you comprehended this life is over. However, that life is still there. It's not going anywhere. It's just not that how you comprehended that person. He's gone. That personification is gone. However, the life is still there. So that itself is quite peaceful to know that the life is still there. So that brings a lot of peace if you fully accept that yes, the life is still there. Life is not going to go anywhere. The personification, the poor lady, how she perceived that life is gone. But the life, how she perceived that, but the life remains intact. It's going to take another birth and then going to go through the same. We all would do that. So, and the second peaceful thing about it is just not solely happening to that poor gentleman who passed on 7 years back. It's gonna happen to all of us. You see, so there is, so it is how it is. It is how it is. It's neither good nor sad. It's as long as there remains the karma, there remains the jiva, the circle of birth and circle of death would carry on, birth and death, till all the karma is resolved. So, and it happens to every life. Basically, there is no barrier in life. Life is the same energy, but the accumulation of life. This is an accumulation of life. So it happens to all the accumulation of life. It's not solely or exclusively happening only to few people. Nature does not discriminate. It happens to each one of us, you see. So when we understand fully that all of us has to go through with the circle of birth and the circle of death, then there is no point of freaking out. It's a fact which would happen to all of us. We would go through that. And the more we understand this, the more we are at peace. Then we don't suffer because we understand more than what it is. That's all Sadhguru was explaining to this lady. And also he further said, I elaborate a little more further, but this was his gist, bringing more clarity so the poor lady wouldn't suffer the loss of her husband. What happens, that's how nature is, that when the body, the accumulation, you see, the body is an accumulation. In Buddhist way of living, or in Buddhist way of living, they usually refer it as a temple where God lives. And it's true. It's just a different way to look at the same thing. In Advaita Vedanta, I'm sure you have heard of Advaita Vedanta. Look it up. You would know, because right now I don't want to deviate from that. I'm trying to bring more and more clarity. It is called the accumulation. This is the accumulation. It's a fact. I'm not talking about something fictional. It's your experience. It's here and it looks like it because of numerous things, including food and climate. So life running through this accumulation decides when to leave. It's not on the accumulation or the accumulation which comes with this accumulation, which I'm referring, or I refer as mind. Mind is also accumulation. Accumulation of everything what you have perceived is your mind. It's not on the mind, or it's not on the accumulation, which is body, to basically decide that when life leaves. Life itself, which is an energy, decides when to leave. It's life which decides when to leave. And when that happens, we, the accumulation, which is the body and the mind, bows down to it. You see, bows down to it. We accept it. Because life now has decided to leave the accumulation and move further. It's just the way it is, and it's just the way it would be. So accumulation, so life basically running through the body decides because of numerous reasons. Excuse me. The body has become feeble because of the age, or the body is inadequate, or unfortunately cannot carry life for any reasons, medical reason. There is a disease in the body. So body starts to become feeble, and the life which is running through the body, which is running through the accumulation, decides to leave. And when that happens, we bow down. So that's, again, that's clarity. That's my gift to you, to bring more clarity, to understand what's happening, instead of making it some type of fiction or something superstition. That itself brings that how to heal from a loss. But yes, I understand there are memories. So as my mentor Sadhguru said on numerous times, that we human unfortunately are suffering basically our memories too. You see, we suffer memories. It does not matter what has happened before this point. I'm talking about all of us, myself included. I count myself among old people. There is no better here. There is no teacher here. I'm just trying to show you what you already know. So whatever has happened, whether it's a loss or somebody wronged us or we made a mistake, whatever has happened, now it's not gonna heal us if we just think about it over and over. Even if we accept that it has happened, which it has, there is no good enough time that I would heal or I'm not ready. These are, again, the excuses of our miseries are the words. Excuses of our misery, that we are suffering our memories, are the words. There is no good enough time in the future, because there is no future. I do not know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. I don't know that. I know the time for me to heal is now, because there is always now. You see, we cannot get out of now. So why don't we start just right away? You can take charge of your thoughts, which whatever has happened has become a memory. What is memory? Memory is a thought, or thought is a memory. No, however you want to look at these things. Memory, thought, memory. It's all memory. Everything is a memory now. You see, you create sufficient distance between what you essentially are and what your memory is, which is the part of your mind and saved in brain. You create sufficient distance from what you essentially are, and when you do that, you can see clearly. You see, that's why wise people or mystics or sages always say, if you want to resolve the most difficult situations ever, you need to look at it as a spectator and not emotionally get involved in it. You see, if you can do that, you can just do just about anything in the world. It's a promise, if you can learn to do that. So you can take charge of your memories. You don't have to. I'm answering your inquiry, and I have been answering for the last 20-25 minutes, maybe half an hour now, whatever the time is, and I'm here for you. That's fine. So you can take charge of your memory. You don't have to suffer your memory. At present moment, nothing is happening except life running through the body. It's a beautiful thing happening. So be grateful for that. It's important. What has happened 10 years back or whatever has happened it has happened. It's a long time, it's gone, it does not exist anywhere. It has no existential reality. Existential reality is this moment. That moment is real for everybody. Your individual reality only exists in your mind, which is not even a reality, it's a memory. Don't you see that? Don't you see how clear that is? So you can take charge of your memories. You understand what I'm saying? You can create distance between what you essentially are and what your memories are. And how do you do that? I keep saying every single message I convey here, which I'm glad to do. I always say make some time for yourself, always. This is how it starts. When you start making time for yourself, this is how it starts. You would see the results. Do not try to comprehend this through a thinking mind. Otherwise, you won't get anywhere. The only way you can find out is when you try it. If it doesn't work, you don't get into it. That's what mysticism is. Whatever works, you make it of your own. If it doesn't work, you just leave it. You see? So you make time for yourself. Sit attentive in the geometrical position. See the picture behind me. In the geometrical position as cosmos. See the picture behind me? That's how the cosmic geometry is. You sit just like the cosmic geometry every day. You see, I am telling you all this, and again, I have no thought. There is no friction in my mind. I see something which need to be addressed. It can liberate a human. It can free a human from suffering. That's all I need to know. And after that, I go in a deep, profound state of meditation, which I have been for the last almost 2 hours. And all this I tell you all this. So you wouldn't suffer. That's what my intention is. My intention is to liberate you from suffering. So sit in the cosmic geometrical position just right behind me. Attentive for some time. See, trying to give you an idea. I can sit here like that for hours without having a single thought, and the energy I would create is unbelievable. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, if you do this every day, you would create a distance from yourself and your memory. You would be more in charge of your thoughts. You would be more in charge of your memory. I just gave you a tool. What you do with my answer or with this information is entirely your business. I'm not a preacher. I don't preach. I tell you things. If you like it, you try it. If you don't like it, you don't try it. It's very simple. So we don't want to suffer, and we don't want to suffer the memory. We want to live in this moment as it is happening right now. Whatever has happened, it has no existential reality. Don't you see that? existential reality is something which everyone experiences. You see, which each individual experiences is what existential reality is. For instance, this moment, I'm delivering a speech, you are watching me. We all are experiencing the same moment. That's existential reality. We all are breathing life in. We all are breathing life out. That's existential reality. It has paramount importance. What has happened before, no matter what that is, no matter, don't just go and see or look. It has no existential reality. It has no, it has been done. It's time to let it go. So you would heal. As Lord Jesus Christ said, forgive so you can be forgiven. You understand what I'm saying? Forgive so you can be forgiven. Forgive does not necessarily mean that you are forgiving because the person deserves some type of forgiveness. Let's not get involved in that. But just forgive. Just let it go, forgive. Do not have any emotional reaction towards it now. Okay? So when you acquire that kind of awareness, then you are forgiven. That's the meanings of the statement of his wisdom. That's what Lord Christ referred. Forgive so you can be forgiven, so you can heal from it. You see, otherwise you will just keep clinging on it and you wouldn't heal. And healing is extremely important. That's why he said that. So, again, somebody can say it's very easier to say, but it's very difficult to do. Even if I accept your argument that it's very easier to say and it's very difficult to do, then what? Then what? You would just keep suffering, thinking about it and keep suffering. Then what? When are we all going to take charge of the memories and just let them go so we can heal from it? When are we going to do it? Again, Swami Yogananda, I mentioned not long ago, a few minutes back, if you want to make the change, you need to put efforts. This world is the place and this is the time to do it. This now is the time to do it. It's extremely beautiful statement. Again, I'm saying it. So we are going to heal and we are going to forgive, and we are starting from our own selves. You see, first we forgive ourselves. Okay, we learn from it. It's not that we become arrogant or anything. No, that's not the point. That's not how a wise person sees reality. We don't become arrogant. We grow from our mistakes. We learn from it. We learn a lesson from it, and we don't repeat that. You see, but we also understand everything. We see things in clarity. We forgive ourselves because we perceive everything in the relationship with us. So we come to at peace with ourselves, and then we can spread love and we spread forgiveness. We spread forgiveness around us. Then we do it. We do our spiritual practice every day. We bring more clarity. Rewatch this video, everything. I understand it's a lot of awareness for you to take in. So rewatch this video. See how I am connecting the dots. See? And if you have any questions, if you have any confusions, you can write me in private, just like this person did. They asked that how do we heal from the memories, just like that, and I'm here for you to help you, and I always would be. healing, forgiveness, and peace for all.